we've seen Michkov now, variety of line mates. Who do we like the best? Who do we think he should play with? This is fun for me because it gets into the Luchenko conversation.
It does.
Because
you guys want him with Luchenko?
No.
Are you that sick?
No.
Are you that sick and demented?
No. I want Luchenko. I want Luchenko with Tippett and Konechny. So there's just no answer. There's no answer for that speed on the ice.
No, you can't stop
and
them.
that would make him essentially the 1C, but
You guys truly are demented.
So what?
just think of that speed on the ice together, Charlie.
So fast, Charlie.
Anyway,
Oh
have we liked? How have we liked Matvei with to this point the most?
I think the player and this is again very small sample. We're just talking about preseason.
Yeah.
I think the player he has looked the most comfortable with is Morgan Frost. Now, I am uncertain that Owen Tippett is the right fit to be the other winger, but I do think, and I don't think Michkov looked bad with Sean Couturier. I don't think that line was awful. I just think that him and Frost seem to show more chemistry. Yeah. And I like the idea. I also, there's an element to this too where I don't know if I want Michkov yet. Hopefully at some point, very likely at some point, he will be facing off against top lines because other teams will be setting their top lines out against him because the Flyers' top line will be whatever line Michkov is on. But at least in the beginning, Couturier is going to be getting the tougher matchups.
Yeah.
And if you put Michkov in a line with Couturier, I'd like to maybe just let him ease into it a little bit. And I think Frost, Michkov will get slightly less difficult start of season matchups than whatever line Sean Couturier is on.
Also, obviously, Sean Couturier on the whole is a better player than Morgan Frost. But I think that Frost's particular skill set is what would maximize Michkov's talents more than Sean Couturier's particular skill set. So I would like to see those two together. And I too don't know who the third player should be. I mean, like, I didn't love Tippett. I feel like Tippett's better off away from Michkov because then you have two guys who are constantly shooting. No, that's good.
Like we're talking, especially if it's not with Couturier, who, okay, we're going to give him the defensive responsibility. And your point about the matchups, like, especially the type of top line Couturier is up against.
Right.
That's just a very difficult defensive matchup. And we've already, the coach has already said, I'm not putting that much on his plate away from the puck.
Yeah.
He's out there to get us on the scoreboard because we struggle mightily with that. Yeah, Let's let him do what he does. And it's like, well, Couturier has to play against the other team's best offense because that's his thing. Yeah. Who else is going to do it? Ryan Poehling? Okay, that doesn't seem like a great idea. I just kind of like the idea of easing him in that way. And when I've lost the thread.
Maybe Forster's the guy.
Yeah, maybe Forster to take up that.
Yeah, Forster's interesting. I think he was going into camp. I like the idea of him on the opposite side of Michkov. I personally don't hate the idea of Joel Farabee there either. The problem is that I get the sense he's probably going to be starting the year on line 3. And if you have him on what we would assume is viewed as line 2, the line with Michkov, who does that push down? Like, does that push Tippett down to line 3? I don't really want Tippett on line 3 to start the year. Konechny's on in the top 6. Like, he better be because you just gave him a crap load of money and you don't want to have him starting out getting 13, 14 minutes a night. You want him to be getting the ice time to justify the contract. So that's the only thing that might stop you from putting Farabee on that line. But I don't hate the skill set mix there, especially because Farabee last year, and again, second half Farabee, no. Obviously, that guy was bad. First half Farabee, one of the better even strength scorers in hockey, and one of the better scorers and honestly chance creators off the rush. And what I always liked about Farabee on the rush, at least in the first 2/3 of the year, was you could never, and this is what I think made him a dangerous rush player, is you could never tell whether he was going to pass or shoot. There was a 50-50 chance every time he had the puck. Some guys like Owen Tippett's going down the wing. It's a 2-on-1.
Right.
He's freaking shooting.
Yeah.
You know it.
Yeah.
Unless he's trying to hand goals to Michkov in the third period of a preseason game. He's shooting.
Nice. Yeah.
Konechny, probably same deal. With Farabee, what made him so tough to handle for a defenseman, even if it was a 3-on-2, you didn't know what he was going to do. He had an equal chance where he was going to shoot or pass. I kind of like having that sort of versatility and deception on a line with Michkov. I just don't know if they're going to start him out in the year in the top 6, given the way his second half went, and given the fact that he's had I guess he had a good first game. He was good on that Sunday game, in Washington. I thought he was uneven on Saturday. I don't know if he's pushed his way into the top 6, even though I don't hate the stylistic possibilities of a Farabee, Frost, Michkov line.
So I know that, like, functionally, the idea of Owen Tippett as a third liner, unpalatable. However, if Jet Luchenko is your 3C,
oh boy,
and you're looking at more like a 2A, 2B situation, and you got those two together, who's catching them? No one's catching them.
That's all I'm saying, Hank.
You can't stop them.
The one I like the idea, because Frost or Farabee is the only natural like left winger on this team.
Yeah.
But if you have him with Frost and Michkov, that is three lefties shooting forwards all on one line.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know how much they really care about that, but they seem to have in the past really wanted to go with at least traditional left and right defensive pairs until it was like, well, we don't have that, so Sanheim's on the right side. I don't know how much they'd and plus the coach doesn't seem to love Joel Farabee. So, we're going to give you this reward of playing on this line when I don't even like the combination to begin with. I don't see that happening. It seems as if it's going to be one of Forster or Tippett. I would prefer Forster, especially if it's with Frost, because someone has to play some defense. Someone has to.
We all silly like the mayor.